Hey, it's King McKay. Now for this video, we're going to be looking at one of the worst scenes in all of Game of Thrones history. This is Doran's death.
Prince Doran.
The Princess Myrcella.
Okay, so I recognize that Dorne was a pretty shit storyline from the start, and it's really up to this episode to kind of clean up the mess made in Season 5. But saying that, the show writers managed to get everything wrong still. The motivations of the characters, realistical foreshadowing, what actually would happen in the conclusion of these events, and people's reactions. Let's start with the messenger. When he arrived at first with the message, the Sand Snakes and Obara seemed very shocked, surprised, and anxious to see if it was anything to do with Myrcella or not, and ready to act if something bad came out of it. Now this would be granted if they didn't have control of all the guards in this area and the will of the people on their side. If they have control of all the servants and guards in this area, then why would they let this message get delivered to him in the first place if they were trying to avoid him to have this knowledge? Now we find out later that Obara and the Sand Snakes had a plan all along to remove Doran from office by killing him and his son to take charge of Dorne. So why wait for this leader to act? Why force the hand? They should have control of all the palace servants and guards. They should have control of the messages coming in and out. They should be willing to kill him at any point to get this plan going. Why wait for the information? It just doesn't make sense. And this is only the beginning of the many problems of this scene. What a shame. Arya Hotah, the famous, strong-willed, amazing fighter brought from the Summer Isles, protector of Doran, POV character in the books, tons of foreshadowing both in the books and show for Obara being killed by her, this whole entire lead up to it in Season 5, just for him to get stabbed by a tiny little knife by a tiny little girl in the back and he dies. Now again, I know that the show is trying to wrap up their terrible failings in Season 5, but they could have done it so much better. Instead of making the Sand Snakes win and they take control, Arya Hotah kills them with its axe like it's been foreshadowed, and then Doran sides with Dany anyway. But no, bad pussy must prevail again. And just like that, the Prince of Dorne is slain. Again here we see the guards stand vigilant and straight ahead as their prince gets slain in front of them, and the messenger runs away because clearly he wasn't part of the whole plan and stuff, and so the girl has to kill her with a knife, even though any of the guards could have done it at any point, or they could have ran away anyway because it's not like they're hiding this death from the public or anything. This again makes it seem like this entire response was reactionary from that letter arriving and Doran finding out, though everything after this point seems like they were planning to take over from the start. Like, if you wanted to kill Doran, you could have done it in so many different ways, so much easily, at any time of your choosing, as you control all the guards around him, and you're a very skilled warrior. Why wait for some random hinge moment for a letter to arrive saying that Myrcella had been killed? It just seems like really poor writing to me.
When was the last time you left this palace? You don't know your own people. They're disgust for you.
Now, because Doran was very weak from his gout, he was never that liked in the public compared to Oberyn. But to say that he didn't know his own people is preposterous. He knows exactly what they want, exactly what they're thinking. He was an extremely smart planner, deviser, plotter, everything. He knew what was going on in Dorne, how to fix it, how to react to it, and how to actually achieve the goals that they want in the long run with careful planning. So it seems that the show has not only just killed off this character that barely developed or, but they've made him a different person entirely from the person in the books. Which is such a shame because Doran was an absolutely awesome character in the books. He's got so many plans and schemes going on and barely any of them had really fully unfolded yet. So there's so much potential still to go on with him in the future. So if the show had kept a little bit of that at least, it would have been nice.
Elia Martell raped and murdered and you did nothing. Oberyn Martell butchered, and you did nothing. You're not a Dornishman.
Elia Martell raped and murdered. Oberyn Martell butchered, And Doran Martell killed by the person who's sad about the other two people dying. What? She's trying to avenge Oberyn and Elia's death by killing their brother who they dearly loved? To avenge the Martells, she completely exterminates their entire line. Now she wants to go to war with the Lannisters to avenge them. That's understandable, that's a proper way to avenge them, not killing their brother. But like, they'd already killed Myrcella, which would force Doran to go to war with them, because Cersei's going to go to war with them no matter what. If they were just going to kill him, take charge, and go to war anyway, they didn't even need to kill Myrcella. It just, what?
You're not our prince.
My son, Trystane.
Your son is weak, just like you. And weak men will never rule Dorne again.
Now's the point where we talk about lineage and who would actually become in charge after this death. Now, believe me, it is not Obara. She is the unmarried lover to the prince's brother who never would have been in line to rule Dorne anyway. And she's co-ruling with the bastard children of the ruler's brother who is now dead. Yeah, that doesn't... No, that's not what comes next after... No. There is no reason why the Lords of Dorne would rally behind Obara. Absolutely not. She killed the fucking prince illegally, the Sand Snakes kinslayed the next ruling in line, and all of them are bastards. They have no lands, they have no men apart from these guards apparently, they have no influence, and they have no right. Now I would understand this if this was supposed to be like a whole message of how rulers shouldn't be determined by birth, but by their leadership positions and how the people want to vote for them, like democracy and stuff. But this is a bloody assassination of a kind peacekeeping ruler who wants the best for his people to a crazy maniac who wants war and revenge. So I don't feel like the show is going for a moral message here. All in all, this is just completely stupid. From every level you look at this, it just doesn't make sense, shouldn't have worked out, and is really, really bad writing. But at least I hope we get to see absolutely no more of this from this point on till the end of all of Game of Thrones. Let us hope that this is the last shot we ever see of fucking Dorne. Thanks for watching this video. If you guys want to see something that's not the worst, I've just launched my Patreon page for this channel. Now there's a full video on my channel unlisted. If you click this little thing here, it'll take you to it, and it explains why I'm starting up this Patreon. There's also another video on my actual Patreon, so you can check that out if you want to go and actually support me there. Thanks.